everyone. Today's lesson is 6-7 and it focuses on partial quotient division part 2. So today you're going to practice using that partial quotient division strategy when we're dividing whole numbers with 3 and 4 digit dividends. So first let's warm up our brains by completing our mental math. If you guys did not already do this either online on EM Math or on a separate sheet of paper, I encourage you to pause this video, try it on your own, and then go back and see how you did when this video continues. So the first problem says 6 sevens. So this is represented by a multiplication number model. 6 times 7, which is 42. Now, look at the next problem. It says 67s. Well, if I know that 6 times 7 is 42, then 60 times 7 equals 420. And then 600 times 7 equals 4,200. All right, let's quickly do the next set of problems. 7 80s. 7 times 80 equals 560. And I know that because 7 times 8 is 56, and you would multiply by 10 to give you 560. All right, 70 80s is 70 times 80 equals 5,600. And finally, 700 times 80 equals 56,000. And remember, if you know those helper multiplication facts, if you can do 7 times 8, you can do 700 times 80. All right, final set. 30 times 80. Well, I know that 3 times 8 is 24, and I have a 0 here and a 0 here, so I need to multiply by 100, and you get 2,400. All right. 300 times 80 equals 24,000. I know that 8 times 3 is 24. There's 2 zeros here, 1 0 here, so you should have 3 zeros all together. And finally, 3,000 times 80 equals 240,000. Okay. That's it for our mental math. Let's get started on our math message. Again, if you did not complete the math message on your own, I really encourage you to give it a try before watching this video. All right, our math message says Lillian needs to buy 112 bottles of water for the school party. The bottles, oh, it must have got cut off here. It should say the bottles cost $4. Oh, sorry, comes in packs of 4. So Lillian has 112 bottles of water. That's how much she needs for this school party. The bottles come in packs of 4. So there's 4 bottles per pack. That's the part that got cut off here. How many packs should she buy? So if she has 112 bottles all together. So she has 112 bottles all together. She knows that she could buy them in packs of 4. So we want to see how many groups of 4 can you make out of 112. You are going to divide. You're going to divide 112 by 4. And you'll notice I added my division bar here. All right, I'm going to solve this using the partial quotient strategy. So here's my rectangle, and I know 4 goes at the top. Now remember, inside of this whole thing, it's 112. But we're going to break it down into parts that are easier for us to divide. I always like to start with 10 or a multiple of 10 or 5 because I think that's easier for me to do in my head. Could we say there's at least 10 4s in 112? This just means 10 times 4, which is 40. Yeah, we know that we can take 40 out of 112. Let's see if we can get even a bigger number. What if there's 20 groups of 4, 24s? That would be 20 times 4, and that equals 80. So let's start off with 80 because that's at least closer to 112. So I'm going to start off with 4 times 20, which equals 80. So I'm going to put 20 out here because that's how many groups I made. And I'm going to subtract 80 from our total. And I know that if I did this out, this would become a 12. And then this would become a 0, which would then become a 10. 12 minus 0 is 2. Carry the 1. 11 minus 8 is 3. So I know I have 32 bottles left over after we made that group of 20. Okay, because remember, I took 80, which was 20 times 4. I subtracted it by 112, and I was left with 32 bottles that need to be in groups of 4. So now I have to think to myself, well, I can make 5 groups of 4, right? 5 times 4 equals 20. And I know that 20 is less than 32. Let's see if we can get even a little bit closer to that 32 number. What if I did 8 times 4? Well, I know that that would equal 32, which is exactly what I would need. So I have no remainder, no bottles that didn't make it into a pack. So you would just add these together. So Lillian needs to buy 28 packs of water to have enough water bottles for her school party. All right, that's it for the math message. If you want to check out how to complete additional word problems for this lesson and going over your journal pages, click on the next video.